Number one is approving this previous minutes.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Number one, resolution number 505 for 2016. Authorizing an agreement with the Village of Voorheesville regarding safety enhancements to railroad crossings on county roads.
Yeah, I'm asking to have this moved on. It's actually for us, the county, to sign on with the Village of Voorheesville and open more grant funding for them possibly, and that shows that the commitment from the county is sincere.
Okay, all right.
So moved.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, current business, number one, authorizing agreement with Tracy Road Equipment, Inc. regarding the purchase of one tandem dump truck. Good morning. Excuse me. Good evening, madam. How are you?
Good, thank you. We are requesting the legislature's approval to enter into a contract with Tracy Road Equipment, Inc., located at 115 Railroad Avenue Extension, for the purchase of one Western Star 6x6 large plow truck.
Are there any questions from the committee? If there aren't any, may I have a motion?
So moved.
May I have a second? Paul, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Number three, authorizing agreement with Monroe Tractor and Implement Company regarding the purchase of a wheel loader.
We are respectfully requesting the legislature's approval to purchase from Monroe Tractor and Implement Company a Case 621G loader for our Knox division for a total amount of $135,697.50.
May I ask you what is a wheel loader?
It is it's a giant loader truck, and there currently is, our truck now is from the year 2000. It's a 2000 John Deere loader, and it's really past its date of usefulness. So we're hoping to purchase this new one and auction off our old one in 2018.
And exactly what does that do? Wheel loader. I never heard the term. What does it do?
I believe it's a giant, like, dump truck.
Dump truck.
It's actually a wheel loader for loading their sand and stone and salt.
Oh, okay.
It's a big
But it's a-
Okay.
Thank
Any
you.
questions from the committee?
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Number four, authorizing agreement with Atlantic Pavement Marking, Inc. regarding the striping of county highways.
Yes, we are requesting approval to authorize an agreement with Atlantic Pavement Marking regarding the pavement marking of county highways. There was a bid on this in the past, and there was a problem with it in that the bid went out, and we were asked to pay for the total striping of the entire roadway versus where the paint marks would actually be. So it was rebid, and Atlantic Pavement Marking was the only bidder for the contract, and their bid came in lower than our budget of $207,500. Their bid came in at $166,008. So it's a per foot price.
Yes, Paul?
I'm a little confused, Commissioner. This says an amount not to exceed $207,000. You said the bid was
166.
166. Well, what are we being asked to approve then?
We're being asked to approve the agreement with Atlantic Pavement Marking for them to do the job.
For their low bid or for the higher number?
For their only bid, their low bid, to enter into that agreement with them.
Okay.
I think that's a good question, though. Why didn't we just put in 166, what it is?
The 166.
Could I,
All
Sure.
the documents say 207,000.
is
That's-
the 207 the budget?
That's not to exceed. That was
Okay.
what the contract was, not to exceed 207,000.
And the anticipated distance right now would put it at 166?
Correct, with the paints, yes.
Can I ask a question now?
Sure.
In the past, we've actually done handwork. Is that not in there anymore? Is that possibly why it's 207 or?
I'm not sure about the answer to that question, but I do know that in the past, we were asked to pay for the full lane, roadway lane distance, and the 166,000 reflects actually going back and measuring the lane miles and just taking into account where the paint stripes will actually be. So if there's skip lines in the paint, we're not paying for the distance between the skip lines.
So you changed that in the bid this year?
Yes.
That was a problem you had with it?
Correct. Yeah.
But this also has the 2 one-year renewals on it, so if prices increase, so that's a not to exceed number for probably future years as well, so that we're not probably hamstrung.
Should be. That's how it was in the past.
Well,
Understand the answer to the question.
Are we,
I don't know what number we're.
Commissioner, are we voting on 166,000, or are we voting not to exceed 207,000?
I believe we're requesting approval to go into an agreement with Atlantic Pavement Marking for 166,000 for this year. Oh,
Why don't we check the bid documents and we can get back to you on the exact amount of that? We will check with our purchasing department and their recommendation, and then we can do that.
When you do that, would you also be willing to determine if they came up with 166 where this year, and it might be 180,000 next year, can we just amend the contract next year for $180,000, so that we
I believe that's our option to hold that 166,000 when we do that, so we don't allow them to go up.
Yeah, I think that's the
Okay,
purpose
so
of
then
it.
we should be, it seems like we should be approving 166.
Well, I get that, but you also don't know what they may run into in regards to, while they're doing striping, if in any of the areas, if any other work, so I guess that's why they put the cap on.
And like we used to do in the past, we do handwork, which would be the arrows or right turn lanes and stuff like that. If you
Oh.
could just clarify that for us.
sure, yeah, that's true. So there's $166,000 worth of striping, but then you can always run into extra things that come into play. And so we have enough money as a buffer, a cushion, to account for any extra striping and handwork. It's a contingency.
And
They propose $40,000 buffer.
and they can also do more work while they're also out there, while they're mobilized. So if they see other road work, the only thing I'm thinking, Paul, I'm just,
I know, I appreciate it, but when you find out that you have a bid,
166.
and the former highway superintendent says, we always used to take a bid, and we used to hold them to that number, and we used to hold it for 3 years, and we didn't go up. And now we've got a bid for that number, and we're looking to inflate it by 25% on a kind of maybe basis. I don't.
We'll get you the final numbers. Sorry about that. We'll have our purchasing department recheck to see exactly what exactly the RFP is for.
It's an amount not to exceed 207.
I know, if their response is.
So are we gonna hold this, or are we gonna approve up to 206 or whatever it is, pending getting an answer, so that this thing can move?
Well, I hate to hold up the project.
Sure.
Yeah,
But I think that there needs to be a little bit of a clarification. I understand not to exceed 207,000. As I understand it, that gives you a little bit of a cushion so that if you exceed 166, you have to come back to the committee for approval. Is that correct?
I believe it, yes, that is.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Chairman, there is a bid form, the bid proposal form, which is part of the packet. And it clearly shows that the pavement markings, the 166 is just for white and yellow paint markings. And what Legislator Duncan was referring to is the additional work, which is below that, which would be additional, for instance, .35 per foot for yellow hatch lines, or for if you're gonna draw a stop line or white crosswalks. So, based upon the conversation, conceivably, they couldn't get this work done at $166,000, because you're gonna have
So they
some
have to
sort of additional work. that would be taken care of by the additional prices that were reflected in the price. And the bid recommendation
Okay.
from Karen's, from Mr. Duncan, excuse me, to Karen Storm was to authorize it at an amount not to exceed 2075. So,
Okay, all right. Are there any other questions? Does that meet your,
I'm still confused, but
well,
I'm willing to support it to go out, but I would like clarification if we are actually committing to 207 for 3 years or 166 for 3 years, because I think it makes a difference. When you have a bid,
Why isn't there a bid for the handwork? I mean, we've got the striping part, but not the hand part. I mean, it's a very strange bid.
okay, are there any other questions regarding this? If not, I'd like to move it on. May I have a motion if there are no other questions?
So moved.
May I have a second, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Commissioner, may I recommend that in the future we have a little bit more clarity
Yes.
on this so that, you know, the committee members understand and also myself. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Number 5, amending the 2017 Department of Public Works budget, specialty equipment.
That's the actual ones they're gonna buy.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Payloader.
Payload, yeah, it looks like a payload, it's like.
Is another agenda?
So we'll come with audio visual next time with wheel loaders and
Yeah, I know. I was thinking, as I was driving here, I said I need to bring pictures of what the trucks look like so that everybody
I
knows.
understand striping.
And, yeah, the striper.
Okay, are there any questions on number 5?
So moved.
May I have a second? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Number 6, authorize an agreement with Tross Inc. regarding the purchase of one John Deere boom mower with the rear
Way off.
flare.
I can.
What is
Okay,
that?
so that is a mower, and it's actually, there's a typo because it should say a right flail.
Oh, okay.
And what it is
Left-handed
if you
flail?
picture a flail, it's a mower that can go along our highway, and when there's bridge rail encountered or any kind of railing, the mower can actually, there's a flail that goes over the railing. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can just, easily mow what's behind the rail. And that's an extremely valuable piece of equipment and will allow us to get our job done a lot more efficiently.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Sure.
You're not purposely trying to confuse us, are you?
No, but I think we're all a little confused.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I hate to go back to number 5, but could we also figure out, when we take a look at this, we had a question about bid bonds last time. When they submitted their package, did they submit a bid bond for 166
Okay.
or for whatever it was?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, 'cause obviously if they haven't submitted it for the correct amount,
Right. We
you
could be
can't go forward.
understood.
Thank you,
So,
Paul.
yes, I will check on that.
Number 6, did we move that yet?
Yes.
No, yes, no? Okay, may I have a motion, please, for number 6?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Thank you.
We got one more.
No, two.
I got one in between.
Oh, you have one in between. Sorry.
Yeah.
about that.
And then I gotta go back up.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7. authorizing an agreement with Webster Ford, Inc. regarding the purchase of hybrid vehicles for general services.
Yes, this is the ongoing plan to replace all the fleet and department vehicles. This will, buying these 12 hybrids will put us at the 42% mark on hybrid vehicles that was passed by this legislation to have 30% hybrid vehicles, reducing the fleet,
State contract.
energy, making it more energy efficient.
State contract, correct, sir?
Yes,
So moved.
state contract.
Okay, the motion is made, may I have a second? If there are no questions, are there any questions first? If there aren't any, the motion is made, it's been seconded, may I have, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. Number 8, authorizing an agreement with New York State Department of Transportation regarding the Albany Shaker Road and D'Alessandro Boulevard resurfacing project in the town of Colony. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we're going to be hot recycling the top 2 inches of the existing roadway and then laying down 3/4 of an inch of fine grade asphalt in an effort to not increase the profile in that area because there's a lot of drainage structures and we don't want to do a lot of interfering with that. So we're requesting agreement with New York State DOT to get reimbursed for the project.
Okay. Any questions? Darren, may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Number 9, authorizing agreement with Titan Roofing, Inc. regarding roofing services for the Canal Cooperative Extension Building Project.
Yes, this is one of the last roofs that we have to do in on the county buildings. We're using a new product for a restoration of the roof, which it's more of a coating, like a, I don't want to say rubberized, but more of a plastic type of coating that we're using. It's a new product. It has a 20-year warranty with a 20-year life, and it's approximately saving us probably about $300,000 doing it this way rather than a complete tear-off of the roof.
Okay, any questions? Darren, may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second? May I have a second? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 10. You've been better served by just pulling the chairs together there. Number 10, authorizing agreement with Betty and Green LLC regarding the County Road 10, which is Hunters Island Road over the Little Schoharie Creek Bridge replacement project in the town of Bern.
Yes. There were 4 bids, and Betty and Crane were the low bidder on this project at $893,000. So we're requesting authorization to enter into an agreement with Betty and Crane.
Any questions from the committee? Darren, may I have a motion? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
May I have a motion for adjournment?
Change it then.
Motion, second? All in favor? Thank you.